Thank you for saying it in a nicer way than what was going through my mind.
Were you going to become the con?
Oh, I was about to go like Galvatron. Just turn it around and you have the foot of the, I can see the.
Oh, yeah, like Air Razor.
Yeah.
You know what? This might be an Air Razor remold.
He got into a fight with Sub-Zero. Yeah, it looks good. I love the gap. Why are we getting gaps with this figure?
What do you think about it?
She's sexy.
It looks fine. Oh. Are you there?
I was cussing you out.
Honestly, this is probably the best looking Toys Easy figure.
This looks like something Legos built.
Yes! Welcome back, Bot vs. Con fans. As always, I'm James the Con.
And I'm Bobby the Bot.
And we're back with another round of news. But before we get started, we want to give a big shout out to the Chosen Prime. Thank you for sponsoring our channel. And why don't you guys, the viewers, go check them out. They got a lot of cool stuff. A lot of the stuff that we're going to be talking about is in stock on pre-order or will be eventually. We also want to give a big shout out to our members. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey. And let's keep it rolling. And if you're just a subscriber, we appreciate you as well. So thank you so much for being here and sticking it through with us with this video. And I almost forgot, this Sunday at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, we will be doing our live with our members. So please look out for those notifications, members. And if you're not a member, not too late to join in the fun. So back to the show. So we got a lot to talk about today, and we're going to start off with some stuff that doesn't really have any specific place to go in our usual 4 categories. So we're going to start it off with this video of Optimus Prime and Megatron, or Frank and Peter, and they did a video from Hasbro together. Now, did you watch this, Bobby?
I did.
And how was it?
It was good. Ironically enough, it was similar to when they were on stage when we were in LA, kind of the conversation that they had. So it was cool to see it again. You know, it's almost like they've been doing this so many times. It even though it's like second nature to them, it almost feels like it's a rehearsed thing. But it was really cool just hearing how they both kind of fell into their roles and things.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they probably talk about at every convention, whether they're together or not. So it's really cool they have this. It's about 20 minutes, which is great. You know, I didn't watch it. I don't know if I'm going to, but for everybody that did, I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah.
Speaking of voice actors, Bumper Robinson is going to be at TFCon Baltimore, and I guess he's the voice of Bumblebee, Blitzwing, and Blackout in Transformers Animated. I didn't know a Transformer voiced Transformers, but that's pretty cool.
That's funny. I see what you did there. I have no idea. If I heard like Bumblebee or any of these people talk like on a radio show or whatever, I would not associate them with the show because I just don't remember the show that much. So
yeah, the one that sticks out in my mind here is Blitzwing because he had the craziest voices. It's the only one I can hear in my head right now. But it's really cool. Let us know if you plan on getting your animated Bumblebee. That one just came out, signed by this guy when you go there. Next, at New York Comic Con, Hasbro is going to have a toy panel of their action brands. So Transformers, G.I. Joe, so on and so forth. This will be October 18th, so Friday. And it'll be from 5:15 to 6:15 p.m. in room 408 if you guys are there. The only thing of note that I really saw is it's going to be the launch of the Ghostbusters HasLab.
Yeah. Sounds really exciting.
I felt the same way about the HasLab. I know Ghostbusters is really beloved, but I never really got that into it. But I'm happy to all the Ghostbusters fans out there. Who knows? Maybe it'll be a life-size Ecto-1 that transforms.
Oh gosh, I like the old Ghostbuster movies. I haven't watched any of the newer ones really. I didn't love Ghostbusters. I never watched the cartoon. I never collected any of the toys or anything. So it's cool. Like you said, for those who like Ghostbusters, definitely jump into that.
Yep, I agree. So the Toy Hall of Fame is having a fan vote, which includes Transformers. I'm not exactly too sure what this Toy Hall of Fame is, but it's pretty cool. Did you cast your vote, and are you voting for Transformers?
Well, I didn't know about this, so now that I do, yes, I will be.
Good.
That's, I mean, Transformers, then Mask, I guess, and
Mask isn't going to be on one of these things.
It's probably not, but definitely Transformers.
Let's move on. It's a more Transformers movie thing. So the Lorenzo talked about the future of the franchise, especially the G.I. Joe movie. So let's just go over some of the things that I found. It's an interview with Collider, by the way. So the next live action movie is the crossover. But it depends on how well TF1 does or doesn't do. So if it does really well, they're going to be doing TF1 things instead of the G.I. Joe crossover. So I hope it does really well, and it looks like it's on that trajectory. So TF1 really inspired them how to portray these Transformers going forward. They were affected by the fact that they could show robots emotionally and have them have real emotions. Like we talked about with the movie, it's hard to have all those characters in one with all the G.I. Joe and Transformers. But they want to make sure the Transformers have their own goals, but the movie is still in early development. Now, I will say the first thing, the fact that he said TF1 showed them that they can have real emotions makes me think that this guy, Lorenzo, is a detriment to the live action or TF1 in general. Because I think since 1984, they've shown that the first episode showed that they had emotions and that it was worthwhile to play on those as a story thing. So, yeah, that says everything I need to know about this guy. And I wish he wasn't the head of Transformer products or movies, projects. There we go.
Thank you for saying it in a nicer way than what was going through my mind.
Were you going to become the Con?
Oh, I was about to go like Galvatron, like crazy. Like sparks were about to go around my head, crazy. Just this is not Pacific Rim, I mean,
they're supposed to be living organisms.
Yes,
Pacific Rim's different because they're literally people make driving robots. Now, if it was called Diaclone, cool, because that's what Diaclone was,
Where is he getting his information from? I mean, typically, and I've done some acting in the past. Typically, you have a script. There's a background of the script. You talk to the writer of the script, and it's just like, okay, what is this person's personality? What is this person's, like when you're trying to get into character, you ask questions of how this person is supposed to relate. Or if you're auditioning, they usually say, we want somebody who looks like this, who does this, or, whatever, so you can prepare for it. What is this dude doing? Like how? Well, I can say this. I think Transformers 1 is going to do very well. We both gave it the thumbs up. So I do think it's going to push this out. What I do hope is during this time of them looking at sequels for TF1, first, that they continue going the route they're going.
They did say it was going to be focused more on them on Cybertron still for TF1.
Yes, that's
now, of course, they probably don't even have a second one even penned a little bit. But he did say in that interview they plan it to stay on Cybertron.
That's perfect. Mm-hmm. But two, let's not get this Lorenzo dude like anywhere like involved with it. Like, keep going on the trajectory you're going so you can continue to have good movies. And hopefully they find out that, hey, you know what? We did these movies. We probably don't need him.
Yeah, I don't know what. I still am confused because he's not the director. He's just a producer. I'm like, why are you producing these Transformer movies if you don't care? Because he sees money. Never mind. I understand.
Yeah, I mean, hell, I'll give him a bargain. I'll do it for half the price.
But I think he's giving them money, right? Isn't that what they do?
Well,
is that what a producer does? I don't know.
No, typically no. But
okay, never mind.
but again, it's something where it's a shame. I'm so disappointed because that thought process literally goes to show why we've had terrible movies for so long. So long.
Yeah, like I thought it was just they couldn't do it, but it seems like they're actively going in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fighting it.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I would love to be on a panel, like a market research panel, and them say, "Hey, what do you think this should be?" You know, like honest, come to a convention, come to a Transformers convention, and come to TFCon, you know, and sit in the audience, like come in disguise so we don't cuss you out, you know, sit there and listen.
Well, that's the thing though. They don't care about making you happy or me happy. They want not Transformer fans to go see it because honestly, there's more of them than there are us. Like hardcore Transformer fans. So they don't. They a lot of people will go see it because Optimus Prime's in it, and then they see it. That's what they're hoping on, and that's what they want to do, in my opinion. But Transformers 1 seems a little bit different.
Well, I think you're absolutely right, but that's also why I don't think these movies have been as successful as they could have been.
I completely agree with you. Well, let's get off this.
Okay, yes. I'm on my soapbox. Go back to being... Okay.
Well, let's move on to some leaks. Now, I think you're going to be very excited for this next one, and that is that we got some more Super 7 action figures. I know how much you are happy about that. But really, the leak, we saw all the other ones that I guess were leaks. They weren't out. They thought they were announced. But they did announce the Nucleon Quest convoy, which you could see right here. Which was actually the first black repaint, if I'm not mistaken. Please correct me if I'm wrong. This was before Nemesis Prime. This was like the prototype. And I wouldn't mind getting it, but I'm not buying one of those things for $20. Sorry.
I got excited thinking, because I've never had this figure. I've actually never seen this figure. So I was just like, ooh, I'll get this. You know, I'm thinking it's a retro... You know,
I'd buy that too. If they re-release this,
yes.
I'd be snatching that up in a heartbeat. But no, it's Super 7.
Yeah. So let me go back to it's fine. I mean, again, no shade to Super 7 or any of these companies. Honestly, it just doesn't fit in our collections. I know some people really love these things. It's just not for me.
I will give them a little bit of shade because they do seem overpriced for what you're getting. I will give them a little bit because the figures are like this big with 5 points of articulation, if not less, and they're $20. I mean,
I'm gonna play devil's advocate here.
Okay, all right.
I spend a lot of money on third party. I actually hold on, even worse. I had somebody chime in when we showed our collections. And chimed in about why am I spending money on the cases that I keep them in, and I shouldn't do that. Everybody has their opinions. Everybody has their views of what they like and dislike. I personally like to have my figures in display cases, and I'll spend the money for the display cases. And somebody else may think that that's stupid. Why would you do that when you can buy a bookcase? And so what my point is, I buy third party figures that cost hundreds of dollars. And somebody else may say, you know what? Why are you spending all that money? You can get a Hasbro figure that's good, or in their mind, you know, good. So that's why I'm pulling back on. I'm being nice here. I'm going back to.
Okay, I don't know what happened. You were just being Galvatron, but no, I don't think that they should be that much. I think they shouldn't be as much as you know, a Marvel Legend. You know what I mean? They're different markets, but either which way.
I agree with you.
Let's move on to something else that you want. So the Scarlet Joker on Instagram showed off possible Funko Pops, Omega Supreme Cyclonus, and Hot Rod with the Matrix. I know you already have a small collection starting, so are you going to continue it?
I do not have a small collection starting on this.
You have like two of them.
I do have two. One was a gift, and One was just like impulse, because I was kind of doing the Unicron thing. I'm good. Unless let me not say that. If it looks really really good, and I'm like, wow, that looks amazing, I gotta have it. Maybe I will jump into it. But there hasn't been, even the ones that I thought were cool, like the laser beak, I thought looked good, and I didn't get that.
Yeah, well, I think you should get the Omega Supreme to go with the rest of them. It'd be kind of cute in there. Two, I don't think any of them are going to look as good as you want them to buy them. Three, these things probably have as much paint in detail as the Super 7 ones I just talked about, but they're $10.
Hey, the price point on them, and that was the other thing. I got the Unicron on sale, so it wasn't a bad price. So you're right. I if I had
I think that's why I'm saying the Super 7 was too expensive, because I'm comparing it to other figures in that same realm like these. These seem fine with their prices, not the aftermarket prices. With the prices, the Super 7s just, they don't. Maybe it's the packaging on those that is so expensive. I don't know. But
I thought Funko was going out of business.
Every company is going out of a business to one person out in the world. But let's move on to, I think, the most interesting leak. And that is the Monster Hunter collaboration for Leolius Prime. So this image looks kind of cool here, right? But let's get into what it actually looks like. These pictures are just going around Discord, so who knows if they're correct or not. These could be photoshops. I doubt it, though. So here he is. I guess I'll go first. One, I love the beast mode. I think that's really cool. They did a great job with it mostly being brown. It looks like a stick figure in bot mode. And I don't like that it's Prime. We talked about this with the Zoids. I wish it was a new character like they do in America. I don't know why Takara uses Prime and Optimus. Maybe that's what sells there. I don't know. Either which way, I need to see more. I need to see a better picture. These are obviously small and grainy. But I don't like the bot mode.
I'm right there with you. I don't like the bot mode. The legs look really
skinny, right? Like really skinny.
And it looks like you just turn it around and you have the foot of the, I can see the.
Like Airazor.
Yeah.
You know what? This might be an Airazor remold. Now that you say it, I think it is. The arms are in the same place. The chest is in the same place. The feet look the same.
Could be.
I think this is an Airazor remold, which is a good mold, but that would make sense why he's so skinny as well. Interesting.
I don't know the character at all.
Well, so it's just a giant dinosaur. That's it.
Okay. It doesn't do anything for me.
And then you did say that there is something with the game that they have giant weapons, like literally, like the Dragon Slayer from Berserk. They're like 7-8 feet long, and I was kind of hoping this would have the same thing. At least that's when I think of Monster Hunter, as somebody that doesn't. I had one game for the PSP. That's what I think of, and this looks like a dagger compared to some of those other weapons. But yeah, I think it's Airazor.
Well, in this picture, it looks like he's holding a ruler, and so it scares me because I'm old enough to remember when I used to get smacked with the ruler. So that's terrifying to me.
It should have been Megatron if that's a ruler, right?
So yeah, it looks like he got about 6 inches on there, on slide. So I'm a little worried about that, but I will hold my complete review on this until I see better pictures. I do like the beast mode. I like the wings. It looks like the wings. Now that I'm looking at it, initially when I looked at it, I thought it might be material in the wings, and I thought that would have been really cool. But the way the webbing, whatever it looks like it's stiff, so maybe it is, type. I don't know, but. Yeah. The way it folds up, it also looks like it could be material. But I want to see better pictures, and I'll hold my opinion for that. I'm not too excited. Like I said, I don't have a connection. It looks okay, I guess.
Yeah. Let us know your opinion below. This one actually has me interested. And let me know if you're seeing what I'm seeing, that this is Airazor or Filch, if you have that in your collection. This looks like the same one.
That's what we're going to do.
That is what I'm going to do. So go ahead and let us know down below, and we'll be right back with what has been just announced.
Kick some sand on your shoes.
All right, so let's get into just announced, and it's kind of funny that I talked about Super 7 already and their price, because they're going to be doing a 7-inch articulated figure for Soundwave. It does come with a little laser beak. This is going to be out October of this year. It's 7-inch scale, so that's pretty big, and it's $40.
I don't have a drink here. Wow.
And it does have VHS packaging. That's what that's supposed to look like.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't be picking this up. That's ridiculous. I'm sorry. I would get the 40-year anniversary Walmart exclusive.
Which, you mean the red? The Transformers red?
No, the one that transforms. Yeah.
I mean, yes. But if you wanted a G1 accurate version and you didn't want to get an MP, I can see why somebody would want this. But at the same time, I think the red did this job, 3 years ago, 2 years ago? I didn't collect it, but I did see it at... Remember, I think I sent you a picture at Ross for like $4.99. And even at $20, I think that one did just as good a job as this.
Wow. That's, yeah. All I can say is wow. Yeah. I'm looking at my Soundwave, my G1 Soundwave, the retro 40-year. I would have got that.
Well, so. Yes, but I could see for somebody that doesn't want to transfer.
I get it. I just price point. For the price point.
Were they the same price?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I don't know Super 7 as a company. They could be a much smaller company, so that's why everything's more expensive. I don't know. All I know is I see those dang 5-point of articulation figures everywhere. So it can be that small.
You know, I know people love them. So some people love them.
I haven't. I will take your word for it because I really haven't. I'm not being mean. This isn't being mean. I really haven't seen anybody.
It's like I just don't know any of them.
I'm honestly. So
there's a market for it, I guess.
I guess so. Next, we've got Skybound Comics solicitations for December. We've got TF and Void Rivals number 15. They also had 2 other comics that were spoiler covers that they didn't want to show off. So I really like the one with Prime in the center. I think that one looks amazing. But what do you think about these? Since you'll actually be picking these up.
Wow. We talked about Hot Rod. I really like all 3 of these. I definitely will be getting that Void Rivals cover, and watch, they're going to have something else come out that's going to be even better. I think I'm going to get the Rumble, Starscream, and Thundercracker only because I have issues with Prime on the cover.
You have a lot of them, don't you?
Yeah. So I do like it though, but I think I'm going to go with the Rumble one.
I don't blame you. I really like the composition with the pink background. It really makes the blue characters, even though Starscream's not all blue, really pop on that page.
Yeah, that's wow. And I did pick up the latest, and I haven't. I went shopping for comics since I got back from Greece. Shout out to Chris for holding them for me. Yeah, I need to catch up because there's a lot going on.
Well, I finished what I've been reading, so maybe I'll get caught up before I start something new.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got Blockees. We've got the Galaxy version and the Classics version, Transformer 1 figures, which we already took a look at some of them last time, but They showed all of them. I didn't think we needed to go through them all. The interesting thing is the classic class have more parts and lights than the Galaxy version. Sorry, then all of the different versions are confusing to me. Mm-hmm. So you could kind of actually see if you look the differences. Actually, the classic one is like better painted. The colors look a little better, and the Galaxy versions look a little bit more cheaper. But on the Galaxy Megatron, I love that his Decepticon symbol is the carved one.
Yeah.
Which, that's all I'm going to say, because that might be a little bit of a spoiler, but
they showed it in the trailer. So
they did? Okay. I don't know, but either which way, I think these do look good. They're weird because they're not super deformed or chibi, but they're not normal at the same time. They're kind of like in between, which is a strange place to be, but it also digs out a hole for them that they don't have competition.
I like the classic class. I said it before, I thought about picking these up. As we talked about and complained about non-transforming Transformers, I thought about picking these up because I do like putting things together. And so I thought it would be fun to do that. They do look good, so let us know if you guys are picking them up.
Yeah. Or if you have any Blockees in general. Yeah, and let us know how they are down below.
Yeah. I've been skipping reviews when I see people do a review on them. I've been skipping over them because I don't want to get sucked in.
Well, suck them in. Go ahead and let them know how good they are. Next, Way Studios is going to be showing off their Transformers Bumblebee, Concept Art Megatron, and the TF1 ones we already saw at Wonderfest 2024 in Shanghai, China. So,
I love the fire underneath his feet, but the colors and everything. If I didn't see the head, I see Terminator
and the fusion cannon.
Yeah, but
I see what you mean now.
I see Terminator, and it could also be because I just started watching the Terminator animated series on Netflix. So I'm also kind of in the
Terminator animated series on Netflix.
Yeah, it just started, I guess, and
okay,
it looks pretty good. So
we could discuss that after.
Yes, sorry about that. I went on a tangent, but that's what I saw, and but I do like I like the ground effects. I don't think it's something it's not one of the figures I would look to add to my collection if I did go to the action figure or the statue route. It's not one that I would be jumping on to add to my collection.
Yeah. First of all, this thing's huge. It says 45 centimeters, so it's about 1.5 feet tall. It looks nice, but maybe it's because he wasn't in the movie. It's not very iconic enough to have a statue. And maybe people would disagree with me, but he wasn't in any movie. He was supposed to be, and they cut him out, and then he was a figure. So it's cool, but it doesn't have anything to do with me. It looks very well done. Very well done. I think the cannon lights up, which is neat, but it's just not for me. I would get other statues, like you said, before this one. Way more before this one.
Yeah.
YOLO Park also said that they will be at that same festival. So that's October 2nd to the 3rd. So we'll be able to see more stuff with them. And they also showed off some different stuff as well. So first they showed off a G1 Optimus and Megatron. They're selling these as a set and singles, but these do not have diecast.
Yes.
So if that makes them a lot cheaper, that's great.
I love all the accessories it comes with, like the backgrounds on it and everything. That's really, really cool. I saw this online, and I saw some of the comments of people a little upset because they purchased them individually and they would have wanted some of the accessories and things. But it looks great. I just started thinking about it. I'm planning to go to Tokyo in a couple of years. Maybe I do my Asia invasion instead of doing it for my birthday. Maybe doing it around one of these conventions so we can go to the convention.
There you go.
That would be really cool.
You just got to figure out how to buy tickets to that.
Yeah.
Yellow Puck also showed off transparent deluxe edition 2-foot tall Optimus Prime. It's limited to 8 units worldwide, and I can see why. I don't understand this at all. He's not Mirage, so he doesn't become invisible. Please, if you guys understand this in the comments, please let me know.
He got into a fight with Sub-Zero.
That's kind of cool. Actually, that would probably be the right scale for my Storm Zero Sub-Zero, but that would actually be kind of cool.
That's what happened. He got into a fight with Sub-Zero, and yeah, Sub-Zero tried, and but yeah, I saw this and I was just like, okay, it's different. And then I saw the 8 units and I was like, oh, talk about an exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the price is on this.
I didn't see any. So.
But wow, I guess it looks fine. Not my choice of Prime, but it looks fine.
Not my cup of Energon, definitely. Next, Funbee Studios is making more missiles for Springer. So I think it came with 1, so you could have more if you want them.
Okay.
Next up, Matrix Workshop is having M105 and M106. I don't know what these are from. That looks like TF1's Megatron's blaster, but I don't know what the sword and the gun are.
Those go to Motormaster.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Because the sword I was going back and forth with, but the gun I was like, that could literally be anybody's. I need a Decepticon's gun. Okay. Thank you for shining light on them. They all look great.
Megatron's gun looks really good. That I like that a lot. I'm not sure why, and maybe the Minosaur didn't, or the Motormaster didn't come with this gun. I can't remember.
I know he came with the sword. Because I was disappointed that the sword was so tiny for Minosaur.
Yeah, and you built so maybe I can't remember if Motormaster had this gun or not. Yeah, he did have a tiny sword, but the gun looks efficient. It looks legit. So
the sword does too.
Yeah, the sword. Yeah, it looks like what I remember having for my G1. So, but yeah, I think it's fine. Not something I'd be adding to my collection. I don't think I'd spend too much more on that set.
Yeah.
But the Megatron's dope.
It is. Tim Hedda showed off a Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime upgrade set.
This set looks good. Set looks good. Yeah, it looks good. I love the gap. Why are we getting gaps with this figure? I love that I love that it fills in. The jetpack is really cool for that one episode where he took Sideswipe's jetpack. I do love that. Even the Lego Prime came with the jetpack, so the jetpack is definitely iconic. So yeah, it looks good. Tim does very good work.
I agree. So let's move on to something that I at least find interesting, and that's Collection Space CS03 Star Queen. It's about 7.5 inches tall, and let's talk about this bot mode. What do you think about it?
She's sexy. That's a sexy figure right there. And I'm saying this, all jokes aside, like it looks really good. It looks really, really good. Compared to their Bumblebee that they did and their Cliff Jumper they did, they had more of a silly take on it. You can have the peace sign and the sticking out their tongue and stuff like that.
They still have that with this one.
But this one, like this head and this looks like a woman. Like the Cliff Jumper and Bumblebee look like kids in costume or whatever, and this looks like a woman in a costume. Bot wise, but I think this one looks really, really good.
Yeah, I agree. My only complaint is why isn't it Slipstream? And I'm worried. I'm worried that they're gonna give us Thundercracker and Skywarp and not even do Slipstream, because Slipstream would be the one that makes the most sense. But I think it looks great. I have to agree with you. The null rays look cool. You can put them on the shoulders as well, I believe. I don't like the face, that like peachy colored face. It looks weird with Starscream. I get it. They're trying to make them have human faces, so it's like more sexy, but it makes it even creepier to me. She cleans up really well on the back. I love the wings. Let's talk about some of the things she comes with. So I guess she has a big backpack, and that could come off and be like a shield. She has 2 daggers. This really reminds me of Windblade as well. And then the null rays have a short form, and then they could flip out and have a longer form, which is really cool. So it comes with really good stuff, and I like it, you know. But one of the biggest things to me that was interesting is that it has 2 alt mode configurations, which I thoroughly enjoy.
This is a bot. It looks great. Especially if I passed on this, I would welcome everybody to comment how crazy I must be that I picked up the Bumblebee and the Cliff Jumper version from them, and I skipped out on this.
Which this one even looks better. It cleans up so well in this mode. In this mode, yeah, both modes.
Both, yeah.
It's technically like a triple changer when you think about it. They're so different.
I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it because it's almost like it gives you the Tetrajet kind of feel with the wings reversed.
I just figured it out. The rings reversed is all of the kibble. It's the kibble. It's the backpack. With, like, look, let's go back here. See how the backpack and stuff's all right there?
Oh, yes.
You take that off, and it becomes this little jet. Because the back of the cockpit, if we go back to, is in the middle of her bazongas. Let's so we don't have the YouTube algorithm shutting us down. And it's gone on this one, and it's significantly shorter. That's what it is. That's kind of annoying that it's not a whole different mode. But maybe you could still flip the wings around. Who knows?
I don't know. It looks like a full different mode to me because I'm just looking at like all
the no feet. The whole back of the jet is gone.
Okay, I see you know what? I was looking at the front. I was looking at the nose cone and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're talking about.
Like it ends. You can see where it ends, and then you could see where the legs are folded up in the jet mode, and they're not there on the other.
Yes, I can see what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think you can still probably flip the wings around and still get the same type of look. It just might be as different as we would have hoped.
Yeah, it looks great either way. I like it. I want it.
Starscream is probably my least favorite of all the Seekers, so I will probably be skipping this one. But I will totally get. I was going to say something. Goth Girl Skywarp, that will be bought. Even Thundercracker Blue would be nice too. But I really want Slipstream.
I definitely think they should do a Slipstream.
I think Slipstream should be the second one. But then again, with Bumblebee, they didn't do Glyph. But then again, Glyph is less known than Slipstream. So, who knows where that goes.
Either way, this will be in my collection.
Yeah, eventually. You'll probably get all the repaints too.
And probably all the repaints too.
And they could go ham with this.
I don't need it to go ham.
We could do... what's it called? The Coneheads. The Rainmakers. Red Wing. They if they wanted to, they could take all your money.
Aren't we running out of time? Don't we need to go to another figure?
We do, but it's more fun to make fun of you. Next, we've got Dr. Wu's Flight Track. 7 centimeters tall. This one, to me, looks like a super deformed figure. At least in the alt modes. All of the other alt modes for Dr. Wu's have been pretty realistic.
Mm-hmm.
for lack of a better word. And these ones with that big cockpit and the short little nose cone and how big the tank is looks very super deformed. The bot mode does look good though. I think they sacrificed the alt modes for the bot mode.
So this was one of the again towards the end of my collecting. I did have this, the original G1 version of this, and I thought it was the corniest thing in the world. I was so disappointed with it. It was very, very boring.
Yeah.
And so I will be getting this though, because of the nostalgia of when I had it as a kid. And then they did this in, was it Titan's Return, or was it
No, it was Siege.
Yes, Siege. So I did get it for Siege because of that
And that's actually a good figure.
And that was. This one kind of reminds me more of the G1 figure, where it's just like, okay, you just click it down and it popped up and formed the robot. Very boring. But this isn't going to cost that much as well, so that's a reason that I would probably pick this up.
Yeah, I don't think it looks bad. I just don't need it. I have the Siege one, so that's it.
And I said probably. I don't know if it's going to definitely happen, but possibly.
Everybody knows probably means you have 9 fingers let go on the other side of the fence to fall to buy it. So you have 1 left over. You're holding on with your pinky.
I have 10.
No, you didn't get my analogy at all. Anyways,
I'm holding on with all my fingers.
No, you one pinky left over if you're saying almost. Iron Factory showed off Toboki, and this is their Red Alert. I think it looks better than Sideswipe. Way better. I've always liked Red Alert already to begin with, more than Sideswipe. I just like the white and the red. And this one looks really nice. If I was a Legends collector, I'd probably be picking this up.
I agree that I like this one better as well. It doesn't have the ninja or the samurai aesthetic.
I think it does. They're just hidden with the white, because the red and black of Sideswipe, I think, stood out more, and this one's more subtle because of the colors. Maybe
that's it, because I don't see it at all. But I don't like the figure enough to, venture into it, and I don't need it. But to me, it looks better because I don't see the samurai aesthetic to it. The head sculpt is really nice, though.
Yeah, and the alt mode is actually really cool too.
It is
a little different. It's not, an Earth mode. It's samurai still, but it's not that bad. I think it's actually really neat.
I like this one better than all the rest.
Yes. Next, I think you need to get Brickman. So get bricked up for this. And this is via Shentu Toy Box, and it's a Lego Prime. I hope they come out with some G1 figures. Because if they do, I think you need to get a G1 Prime to go with everything. A little Lego Prime.
If they did, I would grab these.
Do you have any Creo figures?
No.
Okay, I have a whole bunch of Creo minifigures. And I have a Nemesis Prime over there. But I think you would have liked the minifigures back then. They come with all these accessories too. They were really cool. But anyways, this does look good for what it is. Looks very well painted for this scale. Very well painted. It's just not a Prime I would want, so it's not my cup of Energon. But I'm sure there's a lot of young kids out there that love Legos that this would go right in with their collections.
And old kids out there too that love Legos. I mean, hell,
you're right. I was thinking more that this would be good for. Maybe it's because of my biasness, but I'm like, yeah, a 7-year-old would like this.
Oh, yeah. I have my former coworker has a huge Lego collection.
Yes, but I think this would look weird with normal Legos in an adult Lego collection because it's too small. They would get the other Optimus Prime that you have and put that with everything, and then it scales properly. Well, but then again, I am a Transformer collector thinking about scale. They might not.
Yeah, because he has a Harry Potter collection, and so...
I'm not saying that this, because it's too childlike. I'm just thinking scale-wise, it would look weird
I see what I just realized what you're saying. Okay, you're talking about because it's a small
Because it's so
prime.
tiny. They already
Yeah,
have. They would, if it was an adult collector, they probably already would have the one that you have.
I was just thinking of this as a little person, in,
Okay.
instead of prime. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah. That. Yes, I see what you're saying then.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we've taken a lot of time on what's just announced, so we're going to take a short break and be back with the updates. Let's move on to the updates. We might be going through these a little quicker, but there was a lot of stuff to show off. First, we've got the Transformers and Converse collab. They showed off a little animation, which was actually kind of cute if you watched it. It was like 30 seconds. Didn't stay too long. But if you guys want the shoes, go pick them up.
Yeah, my buddy Mike sent me the video as well. You guys, we did the Hot Wheels collab with him. He sent me the video a couple of days ago, and I was just like, yeah, I just had some custom Nikes done for Botverse Con. I'm not getting some Converse. Plus, Converse hurt my feet.
Well, the animation itself was actually very well done for a little ad. I was actually quite surprised.
Yeah.
But let us know if you're going to be getting any of these. And next, we're going to talk about Bobby's favorite collab. And this is via Weibo, and it's Knight Rider, or Agent Knight. I've got to say, he's got a lot going on his chest, both front and back.
Would you call them bazookas?
Yes, he has front and back back rolls. But it's fine. It's not the end of the world. If in my perfect world, they would have gotten rid of the light and made it collapse. Because the light's cool, but I'd rather have a good-looking bot mode. But from all the other angles we've seen, it looks fine. And the legs clean up very well, too. And last thing I'm going to say before I let you take over, I love that the doors open and the lights open up. Very neat. Like, go ahead.
No, I think this figure, and because you didn't watch Knight Rider or don't have a connection with it, then we all said it had to have the light. So,
and that's what you said. So I understand why.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying in dimension 5982-B, where I'm in control of everything, I would have done that.
Yeah. Well, you actually wouldn't have came out with a Knight Rider because you wouldn't have known about it or thought about it. So
well, no, I would have been able to control everything, so everything would get a collab. It's a Dolly Parton collab, whatever. I don't care. It's cool.
Oh, there you are. There you are again on those bazookas or whatever you call them.
No, we need. I would actually do a Freddy Krueger. The car. Oh, you don't do horror movies. So
yeah.
Anyway, back to the figure. We're going off topic again.
Yes, I think it looks great. I'm anxious to get it. I love the pop-up lights as well. They just did an amazing job on this, and no need to continue. We've talked about it enough.
I agree. Hopefully, we'll get it in hand soon.
Yes.
Matrix Workshop showed off M104, the sniper duel. They don't look as good in person. The gold one looks good. The black one looks like a toothpick. At least in the picture where she's not holding it. She's holding it. It does look a little bit better. But, yeah. Are you going to be picking them up?
I'm not. But they look, I think I agree with you. The gold one looks really good. It has a lot of detail. The black one looks flat. It just, you know.
It's like a tube. And maybe that's probably accurate. So I'm not saying it's not. And then I guess the little silver part, there was a thing where it connects to her eye, which is cool. I'm sure that's part of the comic.
Yeah. I do have both of these. I like them. I like the figures. So, you know, but I don't like them enough to pick up this set. Makes
sense. I don't think you have this figure. We have some Commander class Optimus Prime from Armada, Jetfire and Overlord kits. I don't know if these are customs or not, but it was by QQT, which I think is a company that we've talked about before. They don't have bot modes, but they can combine with the Armada Prime. And I forgot to put a picture in here, but I think the rest of Overlord actually goes on top of the legs of Prime. So there's a part for it. They look good. If these come out, I don't know, again, if they're customs, but they look good. I wasn't a big fan of the Commander class Prime. I I would have thought somebody would want to make a mini-con first.
We both opted for fans hobby versions of this Prime. Even if
you mean
it's
the one with the mini-con? Sorry, I'm just making a joke.
Even with it, being different colors or whatever. I agree with you. I think this is good if you spent the money for the Prime, and like both of us, well, like me, I'll speak for myself. I don't like Jetfire at all, so it would probably be cheaper to get this kit than to buy Jetfire whenever Hasbro decides to release it. And same with Overload. Probably cheaper to buy this kit instead of waiting for that figure to come out, which again, I don't really love this figure. This character. Let me not say figure. This character either. So you can still achieve the look and maybe not spend as much, or you can achieve the look and not have to wait for Hasbro to release it.
If they release it.
Yeah.
I agree on all those points, but I still would have preferred a mini-con. Next, Funky Studios showed off the final of their Star Seekers display stand. So I was right. It was for the best character of the wave, Filch, that I do currently own in my collection that Walmart didn't cancel on me. It looks fine. Oh, are you there?
I was cussing you out.
Oh, okay. Anyways, yeah, this is cool. I don't have anything bad or good to say about it. It's so hard to see the symbol because of the type of stand. I would rather just use something that would be less noticeable.
Yeah, I would have liked for the stand to plug into the back of it so you could see the symbol.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, instead of it plugging into the top. So yeah, if it plugged into the back so you can see the symbol and then have Filch hanging off the back and you can see the symbol, that would be...
You can also use Ferric, I guess, too. I guess he would fly.
That's true.
And, you may or may not have that figure.
I do have that figure.
Moving on to Fans Hobby, they showed off MB21 in all the colored glory. They did say some of the paint might change eventually. I love all the gimmicks, but I will wait till I get the colors that I want. We've talked about it. I've talked to it with people in the comments. This is the show accurate colors, but the toy accurate for the G1, not G1, oh my god, for the American figures had green on it, and that's the version I would want because that's what I had as a kid. But this does look good. I love that the little mini-con can fold up just like the original one and go down. It looks like it has missiles, even though they're not plugged in, on the side of the one with the two holes.
The middle one.
The middle one, yeah. So I think this looks really cool. I will eagerly await, even though the aircraft carrier looks very plain.
It does look very plain. This, I don't know. Fans Hobby has kind of disappointed me lately with the Armada line, and I wasn't a big fan of it. I think I may pick this up, but it's not going to be a rush.
Yeah, something that I've noticed with this figure in particular is all the roundedness. There's nothing that's sharp. Everything's rounded, and maybe that was a stylistic choice, but I wish like the feet had that. You have Tidal Wave, the original one, how it has that sharp angle down. I wish it had that, and other pieces just seem soft. The sculpt seems soft, and I don't like that. But yeah, it's not my Tidal Wave yet. So
they don't want you poking your eyes out, James.
Well, I got eye patches. Let me do it.
I do like all the gimmicks, though. That's cool.
We might poke our eyes out on this one, though, with how spiky he looks. We've got the Laser Cat Toys Mini Furaki. I don't exactly know how they plan to pronounce it. It's really small. I was expecting it to be at least a little bit bigger, but that's okay. I still think it looks good. What do you think? Before we get into some up close pictures.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just like, wow, he's tiny. And being that he's just a little bit bigger than the Prime, for it to be a combiner, I'm like, are the limbs really, really small, or do they compact enough that they become small to form? I'm hoping it's the latter.
I think it's both. Well, let's get into the close-up pictures. So there's a lot of parts forming going on because that razor claw does not fill out, if we just go back one, does not fill out that whole torso. Unless the legs are the whole leg. You know what I mean? Like, what was it? Power of the Primes. But we've got Dive Bomb, Razor Claw, and then the head is its own separate portion, which makes sense because it's SD, so it's huge. But I think all these look good. Honestly, they're tiny, but they did a good job on them. I hope the cost isn't much.
Yeah. I'm hoping 80.
That would be about right. Yeah.
That would. Of course, they could always do it cheaper. I would love it to be cheaper. But I think the Laser Cat was probably like 30, 35, 40 bucks, maybe. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think so because I was telling you to buy it. So, yeah, 80 because this has a lot more parts. I would assume.
Right. But with it having much more parts, that makes up for the price. But the figures don't look like they're as detailed as like the Prime or that other figure that was there, Overlord.
Well, that was a different company.
It was a different company, but I mean, I would expect those to be bigger. The price to be not more, but like what they're doing, the transformations and things that are in those. These don't look like they are that complicated. It looks like you probably fold down a couple of things and they're transformed.
Much more G1.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on to something that's not going to be easy to transform, and that's Toys Easy Steel Soul Tiger via Weibo user. I thought this was going to come out soon, but I guess not. What's going on? I've been waiting because I think this thing looks great. Honestly, this is probably the best looking Toys Easy figure. Probably because it's not all gray with hints of red. It's a little bit of black with hints of red. I don't know. It looks more dynamic than a lot of their ship characters. And I like it. So this is on the buy list. And I love the axe. I just hope that the axe is a standalone thing and not connected to the cannon. Because I have not seen a picture with both of them in the same frame. So, and I thought maybe it comes off and you put something on the edge, on the top, I mean, and then it's the axe. I hope that's not the case, because I'd like a shoulder cannon and an axe.
I hope so as well. I'm like you. I've been waiting for this to ship or, come out. I'm like, what's going on? Because I thought it was coming out a month ago.
They had finished what we perceived as finished copies.
Mm-hmm. But it looks great. I've been in on a lot of their figures, so I'm in on this one. Yeah. I love the highlights of the red that you mentioned as well, even the yellow or orange,
the gold or whatever,
and the legs. The little details and are really cool. I love the way the treads look in the legs. I'm in for this. I'm very curious how those treads work.
Yep, there was a transformation video. Did you see it?
I did not.
Okay, well you have to watch it. They don't roll. It's just
wheels on the bottom, probably.
Yeah, I don't even think there's wheels on the bottom. I just think
wow. Okay.
So what they do with some MP figures. Either which way, we're gonna go ahead and take a quick break. Let us know what you think in the meantime, and we'll be back with what's incoming and recently released. All right, so let's finish up with what's incoming. First, the only thing is the Fans Hobby Sky Shield team. So, are you excited to get these in?
I am excited to get more toys.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't seem very excited about them.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to get more toys. So yeah, I'll be happy when they get here.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been thinking about the point that I've been getting that the main reason I'm getting them is because of the packaging, and is that really worth picking them up? So I have some thinking to do. So we'll see.
Yeah, and they're more expensive than the Saber team.
Yes, because of that big old hunk of plastic. Let's get into what's recently released. First thing, I didn't think this was out already, but the collaborative cup on these pictures are via NoTrab, and is out. You can order it on Amazon right now, and it'll get to you with Prime shipping. I really dislike those guns in his hand. Were you gonna say that?
Yeah, that's the.
I get it.
I'm like, what the hell?
And that's why I put this picture in there. I get it because that's what they look like. But maybe they could have like flipped out and a handle could have flipped down or something because they look weird. Still looks like Space Cup. I'm going to say it every time I see this figure. But it does. Now, with these pictures, NoTrab has a way of making the figures look very appealing. I think we've seen that from all these. And no different. I think this thing is the best looking G.I. Joe crossover to date. And it's funny because it's Cup. I'm not a big Cup fan. I do think the green's weird. I've never seen green with Cup, but it doesn't look out of place with the G.I. Joe crossover.
It's literally everything you said except for Space Cup, which I do kind of see Space Cup as well a little bit. The guns, those look terrible. Like that's my gripe about this figure. They actually look like something, like it's not even a gun. It looks like somebody put pegs in his hands to hold something. It's just like
it's like a drill.
Yes.
But like he's not holding it at the handle of the drill. He's holding it like below it.
Yeah.
You put a stick on the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't like the weapons at all. Everything else about this I like though. It looks great. They nailed this crossover. Yeah. I think.
And hopefully they're getting better. I think this is kind of showing that because, in my opinion, the Megatron was not that good. Great alt mode, but the bot mode wasn't that good. Bumblebee was worse. And then Soundwave was better, but he had the cha-cha heels. And I think then it was this one, correct?
Yeah. And the reason I'm going back and forth is because the only one I've opened is the Bumblebee. And
you have all of them though, right?
I do, and I'm looking at his tank and the Thunder Machine still in box over here, and yeah, I just haven't got around to opening them yet. This one though, I completely agree. This looks the best by far. Like
by far. Yeah, my only complaint is on the fist. The slit so it can move is on the top. I don't know why they wouldn't put that on the back of the hand or at the bottom. Like it's just unappealing. But again, that's a very minor complaint for everything. I think this looks good though.
Yeah, I will be getting this eventually.
Next, In Demand Toys has some G1 Optimus Prime already up in stock now to buy. So.
Ah, man. Do I really need another version? No, this one's on my Prime. Do I need it?
I just realized I cropped the picture in the wrong one. So this is the actual G1 Prime.
Yeah, this is
the one above it that you can't see, but just trust me, it's there, guys. Is the one that's coming out.
Yes, because the trailer looks different.
Yeah, but anyways, it's already out, so Bobby's gonna go pick it up somewhere.
That's hilarious. No need to spend time on this. I already have this one.
Well, let's talk about this. So, Fanstoys, little bit before we talked about it, did a whole thing showing off this figure, and it's okay. So, I'm going to go first with what I think, because I did not watch it, and then I'm going to let you finish it off and tell people what you think. First of all, bot mode is near perfect. I think we were expecting that. I think it looks great. The paint looks pretty good as well. It is a little bit boring, but I get it. I get that's well, they're not boring, but I understand that it's supposed to look like the G1 character, so this works. But this alt mode is atrocious. I can't even tell what's going on. I don't know if you have any insight, but there are so many panels. And it's not even all the same color, because I know I've talked about that. I legit cannot understand the front half of this vehicle. So I don't know what's going on with that. But I want to ask somebody who collects Fanstoys, what do you think of that?
All right, so the bot mode looks amazing. They got the purple right. You know,
They changed it.
Yeah, it was like a pinkish color, and we figured that they would.
Kinda.
Yeah, we figured that they would. So they knocked it out the park to me with that. The bot mode looks great from the front.
That's a big asterisk right there.
So yeah, from the front, it looks very good. I don't know how many pictures you have of this.
This is it. I couldn't find any other.
Okay, so he has a backpack. When it goes into combiner mode, there's a attachment that gives it the two kind of back leg.
The struts or whatever. They were his arms, right?
Yes, and the G120.
On the G1 figure, they're his arms.
They're his arms.
Yeah.
They're not that on this. It's a little attachment, and it plugs in bot mode that makes so his shovel. I don't know construction vehicle name. So the shovel part kind of hangs off his back, which we can see. It tucks under that, so it more so gives him like a long duffel bag type backpack.
Really? Huh.
And then it kind of clips underneath the shovel. I don't really like the way that looks, but you can attach it or unattach it depending, but it's storage in essence. And the alt mode, so if you want to go to that picture, this looks like something Legos built.
Yes. Okay, so we're on the same page then.
We are.
It looks disconcertable. No, that's not a word. I keep making up words. Go ahead and add that to the list.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't know. And I'm not trying to be mean. Like, I legit, the back I get from the arms back. I think those are the arms back. I could see it, but the whole front portion. Anyways, I'm sorry. I'm taking away your thunder again.
No, literally from the tarp over the tarp
front
back is, I can tell what it is.
Yeah.
From the tarp forward, like even the little I guess it's like supposed to be a shield or something like that.
Did it have that in the original one?
No.
That really threw me off, because I was like,
open on the original.
Please let us know down below if that's something these construction vehicles have. Because I've never seen that before, but it could be a real thing.
Yeah. The back, again, the back is pretty accurate, especially with those two tabs on the back, because that's where the shield would hook onto. But they did not deliver with the alt mode. They also have a couple of different ways you can transform it, so that was kind of cool. But I don't. And then in this mode, that piece that clips on for the combination mode will connect to the back as well. So it doesn't have the wing piece, the purple wing piece that normally did. So I'm assuming that's going to be, the last figure coming with the combiner parts or something like that again, because this doesn't do it. With all that said, straight out of money, because Fanstoys. I will be picking this up. So far, I like X Transbot's single release better than Fanstoys single release. So far, I think some of the other releases of these Devastator pieces have looked better than Fanstoys. Right now, this alt mode looks the worst out of all the alt modes.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Bot mode, it nailed the bot mode.
Yeah. I agree. The bot mode is great. The colors are perfect, and that's obviously where they spent their time. And I feel like they know nobody's going to be displaying it in this mode, so they kind of just threw it together. And they made the combined mode and the bot mode the most important modes, which makes sense. I'm right there with them. But at the same time, this needed a lot of work.
Yeah, it needs like whatever the Junkions put on Ultra Magnus when they put him back together. They need to smooth him out. They need to smooth this character out a little bit. He's very clunky looking, and this helps because I can say that out of all the Devastator Wars, this will not make it to alt mode. This will not be displayed in alt mode. So
yeah.
So far, this is either going to be in bot mode or in combined mode, and one of the others will be in alt mode.
Yeah, I mean the cheap ones. What were they? I mean, they're going for a different aesthetic. The
Mecha Invasion.
Yeah, that blows this away. I mean, different characters. That's not this character. I get it, but blows it away for this mode.
They had the scoop. Yeah, they had the scoop.
But that wasn't.
He transformed.
Was that supposed to be Scavenger?
Yeah, he transformed.
Oh, okay. It's so different from G1. I thought it was supposed to be Bone Crusher.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that alt mode looks way better than this, and it doesn't transform as much and blah blah blah. But you could still compare it, I think.
Yeah. I was disappointed when I saw the back of this again from the tarp, and I'm calling it tarp because I don't know what it's called, but
the canopy.
The canopy. That's probably better. From the canopy back, there's a lot of details. There's vents in the back of it, which looks good and everything. And also the transformation is very, very tab-tastic.
Really? That's like X-Transbox.
There's a lot of flaps and flips and stuff like that, and I was just like, wow, okay, this is looking a little XTB-ish.
That's right. Yeah.
But again, I will be picking it up. This will not make it into this mode, in this alt mode. Don't like it.
Yeah. All right. Well, let us know what you guys think of this below. And if you don't like that alt mode as much as we do. And while you do that, Bobby's going to go ahead and tell you what you guys need to do.
If you haven't already, please go ahead and click the like, subscribe, share, hit us up in the comments, do all that fun stuff. This weekend, we will be doing a members only on Sunday at 12 p.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time. So it's not too late to become a member if you're not. To our members, we definitely have a great time speaking and hanging out with you guys. So we'll see you on Sunday. We will be doing something next week as well. We'll
be doing our hauls next weekend.
We'll be doing our hauls next weekend as well. We'll figure out what day that's going to be. So again, make sure you click that notification button because we are always popping up with new things. And James and I are actually working on something else that we need to kind of put our minds together and see if you guys like that as well. So stay tuned. I think that's it. I'm actually losing my voice here. That's crazy.
That's everything. If we forgot anything, you guys know what to do, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
As always, to all debates are won. If you haven't gone to see it, check out TF1. Good movie. Thumbs up from both of us.
Definitely.
All right. We're out.